Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dafty in the Garden video with me, Sean. This week we're going to be looking at corn, basically all to do with corn, hand pollinate, male, female, basically how would it pollinate normally. Let's just get on with it. Right guys, so we have our lovely corn here behind me, plus these lights. But behind us here we have the corn and the tassels coming from the corns. Now this is the female part of the corn. And right up at the top here is the male. How you would think of pollination, you think of bees and bugs and things like that. Coming down, going from flower to flower. Corn doesn't work that way. Corn basically releases this thing that looks like basically wheat at the top. And it comes out and it starts to kind of hang loose, okay? When it's windy, it gives it a wee shake, and those little tassel bits at the top, the things that look like grain, start to fall off. And once they fall on here, and that's how the corn is actually pollinated. You know that the corn's been pollinated once it starts to go like a darker colour. Like none of these have actually been pollinated. I'm going to hand pollinate them today, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So all I'm going to do here is actually just clip one of these little tassels off very carefully so that none of the loose parts fall off while I'm trying to hand pollinate. Now you'll be able to see now a lot easier that they're just hanging down there really loosely, and all I'm going to do is rub that across the tassels to try and pollinate it. Now you may have different colours of corn, and how that happens is on the corn itself you'll notice that there's different colorations once it's been pollinated. How that happens is because a couple of these different types of males have pollinated the one corn husk, which is basically given different colours to it. There's nothing wrong with it, it's actually pretty good. It just means that there's been a bit of cross-pollination rather than just from one actual piece of corn that's been grown. So that is me hand pollinated. Now a lot of the husks haven't came out yet in a lot of the other plants, so all I've been doing every once in a while, cutting one of these strands off and going to hand pollinate. How it would usually do that is what would happen is a strong wind would come along and give that a little brush. Now it's probably too fine on the camera to see that, but the amount of pollen that's coming off it has gone across my face. And basically as soon as you go like that, there's all this pollen's coming off and falling onto the husks with the winds. Now I know this weekend is going to be a bit of strong winds, so fingers crossed that's all these need to actually be pollinated. But I feel sorry for my sunflowers because they're going to have a bit of time of it, try to keep them up. But I see them. Well, that's the end of this week's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's a short one, I know, but corn is pretty straightforward. As soon as you know how to pollinate them, they are straightforward. The wind usually takes care of it the best of times, but with a small intensity garden like this, you'll need to come out and hand pollinate. Once it's been pollinated, you can start to see it starts to browning off, and that's when your corn will actually be pretty close to being harvested. So hopefully by the end of all this, we'll get to see the harvest at the end of the season, and I'll show you how much corn or what corn I've actually got and what colours it is and things like that. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye, 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 bye.